The actor strike. Yo, guys, I told you this was the problem. Um, we have already gone through the WGA, the Writers Guild of America. They have already still been on strike. The directors were on strike, but they came to a deal with the studios. Now, whatever that deal is, whatever, it works for them. Now, I don't think that, it's as close, because let's be honest, directors, producers probably got a little bit tighter connection. There's a little bit lesser degree of separation there. So I could totally understand that it's easier for a producer and a director to come to an agreement. Now, writers, producers, I'm sorry, actors and producers, a little bit further degree of separation. Writers and producers, yeah, it's even wider. So, but right now, we have the actors that have officially gone on strike. I believe starting this morning, if I'm not mistaken. And This is the problem. This is the problem. So here's what the SAG after strike means for summer productions, fall premieres, Comic-Con, and the earnings. So SAG after, this is the Actors Guild, has officially joined the WGA by going on strike. First and foremost, all production will now be forced to shut down completely. Prior to this, some projects had managed to stay up and running by working off of already completed scripts and simply not having any writers on set. But something like Lord of the Rings, Ring of Power, that one's already wrapped up and that one's already done. So I guess you could look forward to that. What else here? It says the upcoming San Diego Comic-Con that's already been impacted. You don't have people showing up anymore. You don't have the actors showing up to be on the panels or do anything to promote the movies and stuff. So Comic-Con finna be just about comics. That's it. Like the actual comics, not comic movies, just comics. That's all. So that's gonna hurt. It says here, as the writers' strike made including creators and showrunners impossible, and now the second phase will be a complete nightmare for publicity teams who can't use actors either. And just recently, summer movie promotion for blockbusters like Barbie, Oppenheimer, and Mission Impossible 7 films that have large-scale pricey marketing campaigns. All of those are hurt. And just recently, Oppenheimer, who just had their UK premiere, the actors left. They all left. So while they were sitting here, doing their premiere, walking the carpet, taking pictures and all that, the cast just up and left. Christopher Nolan confirmed before the beginning of Oppenheimer screening that the cast has left in solidarity with the strike. Matt Damon went on to say this. We talked about it, the strike, and on the carpet, and he said, look, if it's called now, everyone's going to walk, obviously in solidarity. Once the strike is officially called, we're walking. That's why we moved this red carpet up, because we know the second it's called, we're going home. Yo, let me just say that was actually a pretty cool stunt to pull, because they could have waited to do the premiere, but they moved that up so they could be like, oh, we know this is when the deadline is going to happen. And if they don't move, we going to leave. And guess what? That's making headlines. The fact that your actors are not showing up, listen, it's one thing to sit here and say that we not going to show up for Comic-Con. Whatever. Okay. That's a one-time thing. Y'all not showing up for the red carpets? That's part of the contract, usually the market and everything. But if y'all not going to do that, yikes. But here's some other things that this means, at least for the actors, and the rules of the things that they can do or can't do, I should say. But they have a list of strike rules for members. That includes no premieres. You ain't going to no award shows. Ain't no social media promotions, for your consideration events, and more. So the SAG-AFTRA members will not be able to attend premieres. They cannot do interviews for completed work. They can't go to award shows. They can't attend film festivals or even promote projects on social media while the strike is in effect. They are also not allowed to attend conventions such as Comic Con or 90s Con to promote any past or present work under their contract. Yikes! Let me tell you something. I was about to go to MegaCon because Giancarlo Esposito was gonna be there. They better run me my refund because now I'm not going. If he not gonna be there and no other actors gonna be there, why am I gonna go there? I don't need to. I don't care about them comic books like that. I don't read comic books. I'm not that deep of a comic book fan where I'm gonna pay X amount of hundreds of dollars to go to a comic convention. That's not me. I'd rather just read the comics on the side. However, if the actors are gonna be there, I'd like to go meet my favorite actors. And Giancarlo is definitely somebody I want to go meet. But if he ain't gonna be there, because it is, oh, it's a run. Run me my money right back right now. Woo, man. It also says here SAG-AFTRA is fighting for higher wages, increased residual payments, and protections around using artificial intelligence. Okay, so this is the basics. They're fighting obviously for more, but this is the basics of what they're doing and what they're fighting for. And there is a long list of stuff, that they cannot do, like on camera, no acting, singing, dancing, no stunts, puppeteering, off camera, no trailers, no voice acting, no singing. If you're a background person, no stand-ins, no photos, no fitting, scannings. If it's a promotion, ain't no more tours, no interviews, conventions, fan expos, festivals, panel. You see the list. You see the list. All of this over with. All of this right here, it ain't happening. All of this right here, let me tell you right now, that's gonna hurt the movies. That is gonna hurt. You know why that's gonna hurt? Because one of the biggest parts of a budget for a film is the marketing. What's included in the marketing? It's flying your talent all around the world, having them do interviews and press junkets. It's having them sit here, go on the red carpet, and say certain things that generate articles that later go on and go viral and get people excited. It's going on your favorite news channel. It's going on Entertainment This, Hollywood That. It's doing all this stuff to help make the movie exciting and to get butts in seats. Y'all ain't got none of that. That's a done deal. It ain't happening. It's over with. Capiche? Give it up. The dream is over. Them actors ain't doing nada. And y'all gonna feel it on the production side. And let's not forget, it's one thing I told y'all when the writers don't show up. Okay, the writers don't show up, but you got a script. Guess what? Man, we can still go to work. We don't need them. We can't make changes to the script, but we can still go do some scenes. We can still do some stuff. Y'all ain't finna do nothing without them actors. You know what that means? Production is gonna stop. While y'all thought that y'all were gonna work around the writers, still use the lighting, still use the VFX crews, still use the sound, still do all that other production stuff. Y'all sat here as a studio, y'all rented out this place, y'all bought all this equipment, y'all paid these people, which you still need to pay, by the way, these production folks, they still on the clock, okay? So y'all pay for all this stuff, and y'all can't use none of it. This is like an artist, let's say a music artist, who's deciding to go on strike, but y'all already paid for studio time. Well, the band is just going to be sitting there. The band is going to be sitting there waiting, and they still got to get paid because they got to get paid for their time. Y'all paid for the studio time. Ain't no artist coming in to drop no hot lyrics. They not dropping no bars. They not making no music. And you just sitting there wasting money on the production and on the cast and crew. Sounds like y'all need to cut a deal. Sound like now y'all finna hit. I told y'all the number one way, y'all gotta hit them where it hurts. And the way you hit them where it hurts, you hit them pockets. And that's what they doing right now with this strike. It's gonna hurt. By the way, I do want to make this quick thing. Um, for some of y'all that want to, if you're asking yourself, how can you help? What can you do? Now, listen, I'm not gonna be the one to say it. I'm not gonna be the one to do it. But in a real way, if we really wanted to stick it to the man, stick it to the studios, again, I'm not advocating this. I'm not putting my name on no petitions. Don't put me out there like that. People would have to also stop watching. The reason why I say that is because we just saw earlier, what did we see from the studios? They said, oh, it's cool. We got reality TV shows on deck. We got a whole bunch of stuff. Y'all finna get Tiger King Part 5. Y'all gonna get Real Housewives, I don't know, Hawaii. Whatever it is, they're gonna have all these shows with non-actors and non-writers to pass time and still get y'all the content. So while the writers and the actors at this point are suffering, they can still go use reality TV as a way to keep y'all interested. But if, again, don't put E-Man's name on this, but if for whatever reason people started to unsubscribe, if for whatever reason them ratings started to go low and those reality shows wasn't working, now you finna hit them on both sides. You gonna hit them from the studio side, from the writers, director, actor side, and from the viewing side by showing them, yo, we don't want this trash. We want actual good quality writing to keep coming through. So again, I ain't advertising it. I'm just saying, I'm just commentating. Don't put my name in nothing. But if there is another way that you would like to contribute to the writers and the actors, because let's be honest, every writer and actor is not out there making The Rock level of money. They're not making ScarJo kind of money. They're not making Tyler Sheridan type of money. That's a very small percentage of them. The vast majority of them, they probably work in 2 jobs. Y'all know the stereotype. I'm sure y'all have heard this story many a times where people go to LA or whatever, and all of a sudden they sleeping on somebody's couch, they working at some cafe, they doing these odd jobs just so that they can go try out for an audition. Maybe they get one role, maybe they get paid one little thing, but then they got to keep doing that grind over. Listen, it's not easy to just go to Hollywood and be a big actor. Do y'all know how many movies are made and we ain't never seen them? Do y'all know how many times people have tried to go for roles and they don't get them, and they still trying to make ends meet in Hollywood, which is one of the most expensive places to even stay? I've heard so many stories of people having to live and shack up with like 5-6 different roommates just so they can survive. Listen, it's the issue. But anyway, I bring that up because if you do want to contribute, you can go to the snack list. I'm going to drop the link here in the chat, and mods, y'all can spread it out if you like. But this is the link where you can go ahead. You could just donate a couple dollars. Basically, this is really just going to help the people that are on the picket line. It's really just going to give them like some snacks, some food. Because let's be real about this. These folks are not making buku bucks hand over fist like that. A lot of them have second jobs. A lot of them have third jobs. But if you can give them a couple bucks, have them, get some donuts, have them, get a pizza or something, it would probably go a long way, and I'm sure that's one way to kind of help them. So if you want, link is in the comments. I'll try and remember to put it in the description as well. But you can go there and give them some snacks and whatnot. Now, this is not it. I told y'all before, one of the biggest problems from this strike is that we're going to get more delays. These more delays suck. They're going to hit a lot of things that we love. This was my nightmare. This was my nightmare. Some of the best things that we can look for are going to get delayed because of this strike, because the studios don't want to come to a deal with the actors or the writers. So what does that mean? What's getting delayed? Well, we just talked about Deadpool 3. That's getting delayed amongst so many other things. We already talked about Blade. That's getting delayed. Gladiator 2. That's getting delayed. Lilo and Stitch. That's getting delayed. Oh my God. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning 2. No. Oh, that's getting delayed. I loved Mission Impossible 1. That was so good. I had such a great time. Y'all, this is breaking my heart that all these great movies are getting delayed. Maybe it's not all bad. Maybe listen. Maybe it's not all bad that all these movies are delayed. I'm just listen. Sometimes you just got to find a silver lining. Okay? Sometimes it might not be all that bad. Now it's bad. But I ain't gonna shed too many tears over this. But anyway, it just sucks. And like I said, we're going to feel it. It is going to happen where your favorite TV shows are getting scrapped, or pushed and delayed. Your favorite movies that you've been looking forward to, they're going to get pushed. This is going to suck, because what I don't like about this is, it's one thing if it was like the pandemic. When the pandemic hit, okay, some things got delayed, but what ended up happening is they were still able to somewhat kind of sort of keep working on it. And it was a great way for the studios, actors, writers to at least keep, perfecting things, right? They could still keep working on it. It's a standstill. Like, nobody can work on anything. They can't tweak the script. They can't do reshoots. There's nothing anyone can do at this point. In other words, these movies are not going to get better just because now they got more time. That's not going to happen. If anything, we're suffering at this point because we don't get a chance to see this. But, at the same time, the studios suffer too, because they're not going to, they're wasting their money at this point. Now, there are some exceptions here, and that is in the UK. So keep in mind that the SAG-AFTRA thing, that is the United States version of the Actors Guild. That does not really apply all over the place in other areas. So that means if you're shooting something outside the US, you could be safe. One of those shows that is safe is House of the Dragon. That's right. Them dragons can still keep going, even though there is the SAG-AFTRA strike, and there are some union rules here to consider. It says here the HBO series cast is composed of primarily UK actors who are working under contracts governed by the local union called Equity. As such, the series is technically allowed to continue filming because Equity members aren't legally allowed to strike in solidarity with the US union. It says here, a performer joining the strike or refusing to cross the picket line in the UK will have no protection against being dismissed or sued for breach of contract by the producer or the engager. Likewise, if Equity, the union, if they encourage anyone to join the strike or not cross the picket line, Equity itself will be acting unlawfully and hence liable for damages or an injunction. Sources indicate that the UK's strict union laws have prevented an extensive show of solidarity from Equity, which can't legally call a strike to support SAG-AFTRA due to restrictive British legislation. Man, oh man, oh man. So that's pretty sad. I mean, it's great, at least on our end, that we can still get them dragons and stuff like that. But it does suck that according to the laws, according to their rules, they cannot show solidarity. Let me tell you something. If the British actors was able to go on strike, y'all see how American Hollywood love them some British actors. If the British actors was able to go on strike with the American actors, all of Hollywood, first of all of Hollywood gonna crumble. The way y'all love bringing in British actors all the time, man, Man, oh man. So listen, at least them dragons and those other things are able to keep going. That's cool. Good for them. But it is something that is essentially acting like a loophole for them in this case. So that does kind of, it's got, it's bittersweet, I guess. Now, you might be asking yourself, what do the studios have to say about all this? Well, let me tell you, the studios are out here clapping back. Okay? They're not playing with folks. Now, here's what they say. Now, there's always two sides to the story, and then there's always the truth in between somewhere there. The studio said, like, yo, what y'all talking about? We out here making deals. We out here making offers. And the actors, they don't want to play with us. They being unreasonable. Oh, so the studios reveal what they claim were rejected offer details to SAG. Okay, so wait a minute. The studio said that they gave an offer and that the actors refused. Now, why would the actors refuse? So according to the producers, that said here, it presented a deal that offered historic pay and residual increases, substantially higher caps on pension and health contributions, audition protections, shortened series option periods, and groundbreaking AI proposal that protects actors' digital likenesses. It pinned the blame for the work stoppage on SAG after. Wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that the people that are in control of the money said, we made y'all an offer, and the only reason that all this work has stopped is because of the actors, because of the workers? Where is this is almost like racists blaming the oppressed for reverse racism. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. Because what you're implying with your statement is saying the reason why y'all don't work is because y'all stop working, but you conveniently leave out the fact that they're not working because you're not paying them what they feel they deserve. You just gonna leave that out? You just gonna leave out the fact that the whole landscape of film, the whole landscape of TV has changed from 35 years ago. Y'all made a deal 20, 30 years ago when TV was very different, and y'all are acting as though that the actors and the writers are just being unruly because they want new terms with the new state of condition with the entertainment world. But it's their fault. According to y'all, it's their fault why nobody's working. Not the fact that y'all decided to, I don't know, make a better offer that makes sense, but it's their fault. Ooh, the audacity, the call. That's something. Listen, we got to listen to this. I want y'all to see and listen to some of the things that the producers basically were saying that they offered. Now, let's be fair. We're going to be fair. The talking points claim in the memo that they were given, I'm not going to read every single one, but that they were given the highest percentage of increase in members and minimums in 35 years. If that ain't just a whole crock of nonsense, I'm sorry. You just going to sit here and say you're going to get, let me tell you something. Look at like minimum wage, right? Minimum wage. What is minimum wage at nowadays? A couple bucks, not what, $9, whatever it is. Whatever the rate is right now for minimum wage nationwide. I ain't talking about specific places. Nationwide, whatever it is, minimum wage has never really gone up with the cost of living and inflation. It has never gone up. So inflation, cost of living has gone like this. And minimum wage has just been like this, just like that. So things have gotten more expensive to live, but minimum wage has stayed pretty stagnant and barely crept up. Back in my day, minimum wage was like $5, like $5.50. I think, what is it now today? $7.25? $2? $2.25. Do you know that $2, $7? You still poor. You're still technically poor. Like, you're at the poverty level if that's all you making. So when you sit here and say that we've raised it by the highest percentage, that does not mean anything. I'll give you a better example. Remember Oscar So White? Oscar So White was all about the fact that there was not enough diversity in the membership of the Academy voters, right? It was 97% older white men only. That was it. So what did the Academy say? They said, oh, we have doubled the number of minorities and people of color and all that. We doubled the numbers. Do you know what double the numbers meant? That means that they went from having like 6 people to 12. That means they went from 12 people to 24 out of the 9,000 members that they have. What does that even mean that you have the highest percentage increase? What if the previous increase was 1% and now y'all did 2%? Whoa! Highest percentage ever. You see how that slick talk gets you. I don't care about that. Don't get fooled with this talk. It's that slick talk. I don't like it. What else they say? I don't know what SVOD is, so whatever. Substantial increases in pension and health contribution caps. Once again, what does that even mean? Substantial according to whom? Who's saying that that's substantial? Y'all saying that? You saying that? I'm just saying, look, if my boss or if my employer says, I'm giving you a substantial raise of 5 cents, I'm going to be like, what? Substantial? A nickel? I can't even buy lunch with that. What you mean? Again, relative. Groundbreaking AI proposal which protects performers' digital likeness, including a requirement for performers' consent for the creation of and digital use of replica or for digital alterations of a performance. And then, of course, another 58% increase, major role, blah, blah, blah. This is what I want to focus on. I want to focus on this groundbreaking AI proposal because this sound good. This sound like, oh, y'all actually come up with a hot idea to protect actors when it comes to AI and all that. What did they say? Hold on, let's read it again now. Groundbreaking proposal which protects performers' digital likenesses, including a requirement for performers' consent for the creation and use of digital replicas for the digital alterations of a performance. That sounds fantastic. Y'all, we got receipts. Let's roll that footage. Let's get set with this. So this right here is Fran Drescher. Y'all remember her as the nanny. And I forget this guy's name. I apologize, but he's also on the negotiation team for the Actors Guild and all that. And he's responding to what I just talked about, right? The groundbreaking AI proposal. Listen to what this actually meant, because again, just because it sounds good doesn't mean that that's what the fine print says. Here's what my man actually had to say.
On every point of it. But this groundbreaking AI proposal that they gave us yesterday, in that groundbreaking AI proposal, they proposed that our background performers should be able to be scanned, get paid for 1 day's pay, and their company should own that scan, their image, their likeness, and should be able to use it for the rest of eternity in any project they want with no consent and no compensation. So if you think that's a groundbreaking proposal, I suggest you think again.
Get out of town, Charlie Brown. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So, in other words, let's put that into context. What does that mean? Because right now, what the studios are proposing, and this is what's wild. Have y'all seen Black Mirror? Because I told y'all need to be watching Black Mirror. This is that Jane is awful episode of the new series of the new season for Black Mirror. This is exactly what they are proposing. Okay, this is exactly what it is. Okay, so I see some people couldn't hear it. Let me explain what it is. What they're basically saying is the studio saying, hey, look, you're an actor. You know, where my man Didier at? Didier, whoever, Dan the man. They go in, they go do 1 day of work. They go do a background scene. Okay, they the guy drinking coffee. Drinking coffee. I'm in the background. Cool. That's my shot. All right, bet. You pay me for that 1 day of work for drinking my coffee. Great. I'm in the background. The studio will now own my likeness. They will own that shot of me drinking that coffee forever. Where the Sandlot at? Forever. Forever. And they not gonna pay me any residuals every time they use that shot of me drinking coffee. So what does that mean? Let's say in practicality. Let's say, for example, that shot of me drinking coffee, like, let's say it goes viral. Let's say that people start seeing me drinking coffee in all the Marvel movies, right? And they'll be like, oh, ha ha ha, look at that. There's the guy drinking coffee. He's so cool. I'm not going to be able to make a t-shirt with my likeness drinking coffee and sell it. I'm not going to make no money every time a movie with me drinking coffee in the background. I'm not going to make no money off of that. I don't get nothing. But the studio can use that forever. That's groundbreaking? Groundbreaking for who? How? What do you mean? That's a whole bamboozlement. What? All you got to do is sign on the dotted line and basically give up your act. The one thing that you did, you got to give that up forever? Forever. I see why it makes sense for the studio. That is, oh my gosh. If the studio was able to, and here's the long-term problem, right? Imagine you a background, performer, and all you did, you just eating, drinking some food in the cafe or restaurant or whatever. The studio can take that and put you in the background all the time. Do you know what that means? That means we don't need very many other background actors in the future. We don't need y'all. We don't need to keep paying y'all. Why do we need to keep paying y'all to come and eat in the background to make our stuff look real and authentic when we already got actor eating lunch number 5 and we could just copy and paste them and put some AI clothes on them and keep changing it up? We don't need to pay y'all no more. We already paid that person $500 10 years ago. That's jacked up. That's really, really jacked up, in my opinion. So yeah, if Hollywood actually thinks, if the producers actually think that this is a suitable, smart type of situation to go through with, throw Hollywood away. Throw it all away. Y'all ain't never gonna come to an agreement if this is the level. If you coming from that, I don't know how the hell y'all finna come and meet in the middle. I don't know how, because that's the craziest thing I ever heard that these studios are potentially saying. Now, let me tell y'all, if y'all thought that was crazy, it gets worse. It gets worse because the studios apparently are out here saying the most. Now, I'm gonna try and be as fair as I can with this, but according to Deadline and other folks, they getting real buck with their mouth. Real buck. And one thing that they said here, supposedly, Hollywood Studios, WGA strike endgame is to let the writers go broke before resuming talks in the fall. Yikes. It says here producers are planning to dig in hard this fall before even entertaining the idea of more talks with the WGA. Not Halloween precisely, but late October for sure is the intention. Receiving positive feedback from Wall Street since the WGA went on strike in May, Warner Brothers, Discovery, Apple, Netflix, Amazon, Disney, Paramount have become determined to break the Writers Guild Association, according to one studio exec. To do so, the studio and the producers believe that by October, most writers will be running out of money after 5 months on the picket lines and no work. The end game is to allow things to drag on until union members start losing their apartments and losing their houses. This is according to another studio exec. Allegedly, the cold as ice approach, several acknowledging the cold as ice approach, several other sources reiterated the statement. One insider called it cruel but necessary evil. The studios and streamers next think financially strapped writers would go to WGA leadership and demand that they restart talks before they could be a very cold Christmas. In that context, the studios and streamers feel that they could be in a position to dictate most of the terms of any possible deal. Oh my God. Y'all cannot be this cold-hearted. I understand it's a business. I understand money is on the table. But last I checked, don't y'all be in this for the sake of the movies? Don't y'all be in this for the sake of entertaining folks? Don't y'all be listen, even if you want to make money, I feel like you have more money to make with the writers and the actors and everybody on board than trying to have this little game of chicken. And where is the sense of humanity? Unnecessary evil? I'm glad you called it like it was. It is evil. You want people to starve? You want people to get kicked out their apartments? Didn't we just talk about how there are folks that are roomed up with like 6 different people just trying to make ends meet? I know personally people that are writers that already have full-time jobs and they sitting here writing things day and night, busting their butt just trying to get one script read. Just read, not accepted, not fully made into a movie, just read, just to have it be seen. And y'all out here basically waiting until they can't. You want them to have a cold Christmas? Man, if this ain't a Scrooge movie in the works, like what?
Ah! Humbug.
I told y'all I don't believe in karma like that, but I do believe you reap what you sow. I do believe that. And a lot of these folks, whoever these anonymous people are that believe in this, whoever believes and supports this mentality, more than likely they can believe that because they can afford to believe it. But I guarantee you, if you was working a 9 to 5, if you was working, busting your butt every day like that and barely making ends meet, you wouldn't even think like this. This is ridiculous. Now, in fairness, publicly, the AmpTP, or the producers, are refuting the so-called October surprise. They go here and say these anonymous people that we just quoted earlier are not speaking on behalf of the producers or member companies who are committed to reaching a deal and getting our industry back to work. That's what the spokesperson said. Now, once again, cap, because If you were committed to making a deal, why the hell did y'all have that crazy AI policy in there? What commitment was that? Because the actors, when they saw that, they thought that was a straight up slap in the face. What are you talking about? You sure you don't? Here's the real test. Here's the real test. We in July right now. Let's see if this plays out until October. And if October just so happens to be the time when the studios come back to the table or whatever, now we gonna see if y'all really was lying or not. Now we gonna see. But I'm pretty sure y'all had to say, oh, this doesn't represent us. Yeah, we didn't say that, because you know how ugly this sounds. You know this makes y'all look pure evil. But if y'all just so happen to wait until October, oh, now we really gonna know that y'all not only were evil and conniving, but y'all was some liars too. So I'm glad that this is out there, because now we got the receipts. Just in case, we got the receipts. I hope, for the sake of the writers, for the sake of the actors, for the sake of all of Hollywood, all the us fans, I hope y'all don't let this drag all the way until October. But if it does, you've been put on notice, because this is ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. All right, y'all. Y'all let me know, what do you think about the whole back and forth with the actors strike? What do you think about the clapback from the studios? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below, because this is wild. Thank you so much for watching. This was just a segment of one of my live chats, and if you're interested in joining in on the next one, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications for more. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.